Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Higher Education Open event. In this session, we're going to be looking at the computing, engineering and music courses. We have the tutors on hand to answer your questions, but first a short video to guide you through the subjects.
Hello, and thank you for your interest in studying for computing in higher education. My name is Phil Smith. I am the course tutor for the Higher National Diploma in Computing here in the college. The HND in Computing is a 2-year course with the first year being level 4 and the second year being level 5. We condense the course into 1 full day and 2 evenings. This enables you to actually work alongside any career or job commitments you may have. Now, level 4 is equivalent to the first year of a university course, and level 5 is equivalent to the second year of a university course. And as such, the first year of course is quite broad in the topics we cover and quite holistic in its approach to everything we do. In order to progress onto the level 5, of course, you need to pass the level 4 course first. Entry requirements for the course is typically going to be 3 A-levels or equivalent, and you need to have really English and maths at grade 4 or higher, which in the old terms is grade C and above. In each year there are 8 units to be studied. The delivery is a mixture of tutor-led instruction, practical hands-on work, and of course tutor-led work, practical as well. And that depends on the topics being delivered. Now we include, for example, in programming, we tend to teach Python, which is a very popular language. It's used in many universities to actually teach programming. It's a very powerful language, but also very simple to learn as well. We also do databases with things like MySQL and Microsoft SQL Server. We do networking. We tend to use Cisco Packet Tracer with some hands-on as well, some real switch configuration as well. We do web design principles and programming, and that covers client side and server side, so what happens on your PC and what happens on servers, and so on and so forth, organizational security being quite an important topic as well. There's no prior knowledge. It's not essential to have prior knowledge, but it would be an advantage if you do. What we do like to see is plenty of enthusiasm for computing, and you'll need some good motivation to actually get through the course. Now, all the assessment is done internally. They're all marked internally. There's only 1 unit which is actually externally set, but still internally marked. And there are typically between 1 and 4 assignments per unit. So there's quite a bit of written work. All the written work is done online using some software called Turnitin, which is again used by most universities. You submit it online, we mark it online, and you get your results online. So it's quite an effective system to do. In the second year, of course, there are further 8 units, and we will start to specialize a little bit in the second year and start doing some game design, game development, some advanced programming with C#, perhaps some Python as well. In terms of game development, we're looking at Unreal Engine 4, perhaps Unity, and the Godot engine, which is quite a good engine. So the nice thing about assessment as well is that there are no exams. Now, the written assignments have pass, merit and distinction tasks available to you. So in order to achieve a distinction, you need to actually succeed at pass, merit and distinctions. In order to get a distinction overall, that is, to get a merit, you need to actually achieve all the pass tasks and the merit tasks. And actually, to pass the course, you need to succeed at all the pass tasks, or higher, of course. Your grades are reported to you along with your tracking sheet on a regular basis. You can monitor your own progress all the way through the course, and of course you have personal access to your tutor. We then take all your grades for all 8 units and are able to calculate using the exam board's guidelines to determine whether you get a pass, merit, distinction overall for each year. Of course, the level 5 one is the most important as well. Now, in terms of facilities in our course, we have our own network. We're very proud of having our own network, which means we manage it ourselves. We are connected to the college for the internet, but generally, other than that, we are on our own. So the software that we need, we get, and of course, if we have any specific needs that crop up during the course, we will be able to get that as well. In our main room, we have 20 gaming PCs all set up to handle our level 5 particularly, and I've already mentioned game development, but what I haven't really mentioned is the fact that we'd like to actually develop virtual reality as well. So we do have many virtual reality headsets, HTC Vive, Oculus Rift and Oculus Quests available to us. We have 27-inch monitors throughout the room here, and of course we have, as I said, gaming PCs throughout. In terms of guest speakers, we have very experienced IT technicians here in college, and we make use of them as and when the need arises. And we're also fostering good links with Microsoft. We have a link with Microsoft Education, and we want to get those in this year to actually give some talks on security and such like, which is quite good really. Now the awarding body, exam board if you want to call them that, is Pearson, and progression beyond the HND usually means that you can actually do a top-up at a conventional university. Most universities will accept HND students, do a top-up to a full Bachelor of Science degree. Of course, some students don't particularly want to go down that route. They're already in a job, so they want to advance their career, and that's fine too. Some students want to look at level 4 apprenticeship opportunities, or others just want to actually enter the field of computing and start work, whether it's a network specialist, a software specialist, or a web designer. Most, if not all, our students actually end up doing some work in the real world, or actually going on to do university study. So I hope the information that I've provided here is of use to you. As I say, thank you once again for taking your interest in this course. Should you have any concerns or issues or worries, please contact the college. We're here to help you, and we will do our best. Thank you very much for your time. Cheerio.
The higher education courses in music technology at the college comprise of the BTEC suite, which is the higher national certificate, which is level 4 and is the equivalent of like the foundation year in a standard degree, and then progressing onto the HND, which is a higher national diploma. That's level 5, which is kind of classed as your second year of your degree. How our courses work is that in the first year you would do your HNC, and then you invariably top up to the HND in the second year. There is progression then from the HND into the third year top up of a degree in many universities throughout the country. The essence of the HN programs is pretty much to study material in a more in-depth level, utilising our resources that are replicating what's happening in the music industry world. There's scope to study recording techniques, mixing techniques, that's in the studio, and then obviously in live sound as well, including the live sound mixing and monitoring. We focus on DAW software packages such as Logic, Pro X, Pro Tools and Ableton Live, and obviously the wider aspects of music production. The subject material itself is split into units that are made up of taught lectures and demonstrations, heavy focus on practical because it's a vocational type of environment, the assessment aspect, which is both written and practical, and there is a high element of self-directed study as it is classed as higher education. Our resources equal many higher education establishments, despite being a college. We've got an SSL duality equipped recording studio, we've got discrete outboard and effects, lots of analog toys, and we've also then got the digital centric production rooms, which are based around Behringer X32s and iMacs, running the various software packages. The class sizes, because it's HE, they do offer unprecedented access to both the resources in and out of timetable, so you get lots and lots of access to the kit. The entry requirements are BTEC Level 3 or equivalent in music technology or a related discipline with a merit profile. If you're coming from the sixth form route and you've done A levels, we're looking for a minimum of 2 A levels at C grade or above, which is the equivalent to 80 UCAS points. If you're not coming from a music or a music tech background, a working knowledge of basic music technology subject material is also required, as we are kind of starting from a particular level. Consideration is actually given to mature learners without any of these entry requirements, but across the board it is expected that GCSE Maths and English will have been achieved prior to undertaking the course. So your progression pathways, there is a wide range of routes to go into, starting with obviously HND. You've then got alternative degree routes, because the HNC and HND allow you to get into an alternative degree at particular levels. You've then got obviously employment, and you've got sectors such as being a music producer, remixer or engineer. That's more so from the studio perspective. You've then got a sound engineer aspect in terms of studio and live. You've got the ability to progress into songwriting, composition, including for film and gaming. You could be looking at broadcast sound, so TV and radio. You'd be looking at film. Then going into the music industry itself, looking at record labels and that whole side of the business. You're looking at management, A&R, events management, promotion, entrepreneurship. You've then got opportunity to look into studio design, acoustics. You can even go into the whole thing of academia and into lecturing and education. So that pretty much sums up the courses that we've got here. The application form is on the website, and if you've got any questions, please ask.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Engineering Department at Herefordshire and Ludlow College. We offer the Pearson BTEC HNC in Engineering. The course is divided into an electrical / electronic stream and a manufacturing / mechanical stream, with core units such as engineering, science and maths common to both, and specialist units for each stream such as mechanical principles and digital logic design. Our HNC is a 2-year course with the possibility of progression to a HND. Students study 4 units per year, with each unit being assessed by up to 4 assignments. Assignments can be a mixture of theoretical and practical work. Assignments allow for pass, merit and distinction criteria, and students have the option to make use of formative feedback from tutors to consolidate their attainment levels. Second year students currently attend on a Monday from 9 AM to 4:30 PM. And first year students currently attend on a Tuesday from 9 AM to 6 PM. We run an optional booster session at the end of the day to support students who may need the extra support in their first year. The course runs for 30 weeks, starting in September of the academic year. You will be joining a college that has extensive modern resources such as a CAD suite, electronics lab, CNC and robotics equipment, plus pneumatic and PLC training rigs, the latter based on the Siemens S7-1200. Additionally, students benefit from access to our Learning Resource Centre, book library and online resources on both Moodle and Microsoft Teams. Teaching staff have extensive and diverse industrial experience to call upon, which students find particularly useful in their second year project unit. To discuss any queries about the cost, I would recommend that interested parties contact our finance department at the college. Our expectation: the qualification is a level 4 course, so we expect students to commit to their studies. We require excellent attendance and high engagement, with students taking extensive notes during the lectures, consolidating their notes with independent research where necessary, and making full use of the formative opportunity on assignments. Those sponsored by their parent organisations are reported on regularly throughout the year, which we find provides an excellent incentive to commitment. The entry requirements: the best preparation for the course is to have achieved at least a merit on the Level 3 BTEC Extended Diploma in Engineering. We do presume students will be comfortable with units, prefixes, trigonometry, and the ability to transpose equations. With further opportunities, the HNC is a level 4 qualification and opens doors for progression within your sponsoring company and beyond. You should also be eligible for membership of professional organisations such as IET and IMEC. As mentioned earlier, it is an entry qualification to HND. Beyond HND, you should be able to top up to a degree. If you are interested, please get in touch via the links on our website. Thank you.
So we've got a couple of questions. One is, do I need my own PC or laptop to do this course?
It's not totally necessary to use your own PC or laptop. If you've got one, you will find it an advantage. If you actually take advantage of all the hours of the course, then there is actually no real need to use your own equipment. All the software we use, however, tends to be open source, so there's no cost to you in actually downloading any of the software. If you have got a laptop or PC, then by all means that would be a good advantage, let's put it like that.
Okay. Will I need to do any study at home?
It's preferable to do study at home, yes. We expect really not just the 12 hours in college or in college time, but also to spend an equivalent amount researching material at home and actually doing assignment work at home as well. So it's highly recommended that you do work at home. However, if you do much of the work inside college, then you can reduce that quite a lot.
Brilliant. Okay. I guess this is kind of a question that would be relevant for everyone, but how will delivery of the course look in September?
As far as I'm aware, it'll be face-to-face delivery. We don't tend to have a lot of students under 10. The room is more than able to take more than that, but of course with social distancing we are able to take about 7 or 8. So I think there should be no problem doing face-to-face through the entire course.
Okay, so if we move on to Dan about music production. So we have got a question asking whether they need to play an instrument to do the course at all.
Again, as with the having your own resources, it's not a prerequisite. If you do play or you perform, fantastic. Otherwise, it just sounds like a bunch of mouse buttons clicking. It's always advantageous. It's not part of like the interview process. It's not an audition. If you do play, fantastic, great.
Okay, we've got 2 questions that are kind of a bit similar. So firstly, what could they go on to do after this course, and then what have past students gone on to do after the course? Okay,
well, I can actually combine those two. We've got in the list of jobs that are available. Kind of, it's almost anything that's related to sound, which makes it so vague. And I'm very, very sorry about that. But if I list some examples, we're looking studio engineers and producers. We're looking from radio, live sound, broadcast, so TV, satellites. You're then going into sound design and music production, so songwriting, composition, creating sounds that go into the various synthesizers and plugins, all that type of stuff. There's an aspect that will get into software design, which can then take you onto other courses, such as the computing side too. You've then got the music industry itself, the world of the music business, so going into the artisan repertoire, so finding the various acts out there. You've got artist management, you've got record company management, agency. There's a great many freelance jobs, and again that then starts to tie into where some of our previous students have actually gone to. There's several that spring to mind, and we've had several set up their own recording studios and are now doing quite well on that perspective. We've got one young lady who studied the course and elected to go into music law, which was off the beaten track, very, very bizarre way to go, but fantastic. We've had several students who've gone into the live sound side. The one guy ended up doing, I think, the Kylie Minogue tour, the last one, the Take That tour. He does various tents and the technical background behind some of the Glastonbury stuff and the V festivals. So there's a wide range of applications out there, and with the facilities and the resources we've got, you've got the opportunity to basically expand out of, dare I say, Herefordshire, the UK, and you've actually, this is a global industry. So if you can use certain aspects of equipment, without using, I can't believe I'm going to use the cliche, the world's your oyster. Sorry.
That's okay. Okay, brilliant. So I think that's pretty much it. Is there anything you'd like to add? Because we haven't had any more questions through.
Oh, fine. I mean, the application forms are still on the college website. It's the quickest way to do an online application. We do have spaces on our HNC starting this year, so get them while they're hot.
Thank you. Okay, if we can move on to Vince or Rob, I don't mind who wants to take the lead on this one. With the 2 stems of the course, could you sort of say what like the different future progressions could be from them, and like how that all works together?
Right, okay. As I said before, we have 2 streams. One is the electrical electronics stream, and I'll hand over to Rob in a minute or so to talk about that one. The mechanical stream is really governed by the flavour of units that we pick. So you tend to do slightly more mechanically orientated things with your specialist units. So mechanical principles, pneumatics and hydraulics, possibly even PLCs, programmable logic controllers on there. And as I say, people come to us seeking qualification to help them get on in their own workplace. They come to us seeking a recognised qualification both in the UK and internationally to help them progress in other directions as well. And certainly professional membership is something we encourage because that's a sort of stamp of approval. And obviously that then opens them up to doing HND and possibly top up, both of which are on our to-do list in the years ahead. How
much is the course?
Course fees, I always point people at finance, but purely for ballpark, you're probably looking at 2.5 to 3k per year. But I would strongly recommend that interested people contact finance for the correct price.
If I can just add into there that student loans are available if your employer is not funding it for you.
So how many days are they actually in college, or like how often?
Again, like the mechanical stream, the electrical stream is in 1 day a week. On the first year, that's a Tuesday from 9 till approximately 6 o'clock in the evening. And in the second year, it's on a Monday from 9 till around about 5. The extra time on the Tuesday, first year, allows us to put in a booster session, which can either be used for allowing a catch up for those who are maybe a little weak on their mathematical skills, or to be able to use it as a tutorial for those who are coming back into education as mature students, to be able to pick up skills to allow them to address the assignment loads and show how to evidence their knowledge.
Do they need any like sort of specific equipment or anything like that to do this course, or are they pretty much okay?
The equipment that we have within the college is sufficient for achievement on the course. We have a dedicated electronics lab which encompasses or includes simulation PCs, along with hardware which allows a standard oscilloscopes, power supplies, signal generators, and ability to build circuits and test them. Within the mechanical lab, we also have hydraulic pneumatic systems which allow us for the learners to build representative systems and to control those systems using integrated PLCs. We use the Siemens range of PLCs, either in the simplest form as a logos PLC or as the S1200 series PLCs. With other aspects, you don't need to have anything at home. Most of the software that we actually access has got licenses that we can share, and most of the work is going to be related to the activities you can do at work, which is one of the benefits of being able to earn while you learn, is that you're actually seeing the processes which you're working on and having those explained in the college facilities.
Okay, fab. That's it for questions. Is there anything else you or Vince would like to add at all before?
I see that at the bottom of the list there's a entry requirement. Was that one for the engineering as well?
Yes, yeah, brilliant. That was, yeah, for you.
Right, okay. Well, entry requirement for either stream of the engineering HNC is either a level 3 BTEC national diploma or a level 3 City and Guilds with a supporting mathematical ability. One would both in the cases need to have a grade C GCSE or a level 5 in the new scoring system for maths and English. That's probably it. I don't know if Vince has got anything.
No, I think between us we've covered most of the things. I mean, obviously people can catch up with us sort of slower time via via the website if they have any specific queries. Happy to talk to any interested parties.
I think as Dan said, applications can be made online. We do pick those up. We will consider mature students, and that usually takes the form of a conversation to discuss your background, your motivation, and your abilities and commitment, because we are looking for somebody who's committed to the 2-year course, although it is 1 day a week, and also that they need to put the commitment into the additional work that they're going to need to do alongside the college work when they're at home.
I think that's a key thing, just to sort of underline that point that Rob's just made, the balancing of your work commitments, your studying commitments, and your social commitments is something that students very quickly have to sort out if they're to make a success of the engineering HNC.
One last point I'd like to make is that the engineering teaching staff all have extensive industrial experience, so we're not coming from a purely academic background to deliver a purely academic course. We have an industrial background. We try to bring into the courses as much industrial relevant experience as we can to give examples and scenarios.
Thank you. If you have any questions that weren't covered in this session, then feel free to comment on our YouTube channel or on any of our Facebook, Instagram. You can contact the college or even through the website. But yeah, thank you for watching.